Hello and welcome along to LFC TV's Premier League review show, the season so far here on YouTube, as we reflect on the Reds' first 7 outings in this new Premier League season under Arne Slot. Now, if you are enjoying the content this week, do make sure to subscribe for even more of us. Former Liverpool striker Neil Mellor and Opta's stats guru Michael Reid are alongside me this week. Firstly, Mels, this looks pretty good, doesn't it? The top of the Premier League table.
Certainly does, yeah. We couldn't have asked for a better start. You know, we're top of the table after 7 games, just that one setback against Nottingham Forest. And what's interesting is last season, we've actually got 2 more points than we did last season. We were 4th after those 7 games. So absolutely a real strong start to the season. Absolutely.
We'll come to Mike now and say it's fair. It's been built mainly on defensive solidity, I think, this excellent start to the season. Liverpool, you've got some stats here, show keeping the most clean sheets and conceding the fewest goals in the Premier League as well.
Yeah, it's that foundation that Liverpool have built this season. So we can show you here the graph of the defensive metrics where Liverpool are ranking highest in the Premier League this season. We've put in green the ones in first, so as Becky mentioned, clean sheets, fewest goals conceded, and it helped by not allowing the opponent in the box, fewest touches in the box against Liverpool this season, lowest expected goals, 3rd for shots faced. It's Man City and Tottenham actually lowest for that, but when you combine that with the XG, you can see that Liverpool's defensive numbers are the best in the league in a minute.
Yeah, let's just put this into perspective in terms of how good a start this is defensively, because it is only the 4th time in the top flight that Liverpool have kept 5 clean sheets in the opening 7 games.
Yeah, that's how rare it is, and Liverpool have had an awful lot of seasons. We're talking over 100 seasons in the top flight. So yeah, if we look here, these are Liverpool's best defensive starts to seasons in the top flight after 7 games. So 2 goals conceded and 5 clean sheets, joint best ever. You can see 2007 and 8 there under Rafa Benitez, and 77-78 under Bob Paisley. They were also 2 goals conceded, 5 clean sheets. Also 5 clean sheets in 67-68. 2018-19, remember that one well, where won the Champions League that season. But those are the best defensive starts to a season.
Yeah, and we can show you how the other sides have started defensively, Miles. Let's take a look at this. And it's fair to say our record considerably better than the rest.
Yeah, and obviously the 2 names that we're going to look out for and will do all season will be Arsenal and Manchester City, because they are our biggest rivals this season. Arsenal absolutely superb. They were the best team in the Premier League last season defensively. City was 2nd, we were 3rd. Who was 4th? They're not on that list. Who was 4th in the Premier League last season for the best defensive record? This one will surprise you. Who do we think it is? I think I've got Opta Mike stumped here. Who was it, Opta Mike?
I would guess Man United through gritted teeth. I'm not 100% sure.
Do you want to guess, Becky?
No, I'll go with Opta Mike. He knows his stuff.
So the top 3 were, as you expect, Everton were 4th best defensively in the Premier League. That is a surprise, isn't it? They're not on the list this season, but yeah, I mean, it's been a brilliant start defensively. All those clean sheets. I hope it can continue.
Absolutely, here. And let's take a look, Mike, as well for yourself. This is how the other sides compare as well to other seasons.
Yeah, so when we look at Liverpool's best starts in terms of points, actually, after 7 games, we've had to do 3 for a win, because it used to be 2 for a win, a bit sort of in the 70s and beyond that. But this is, as you can see, only the 6th time ever that Liverpool have actually won 6 of their opening 7 games to a top flight season. And as you can see in the table, the previous 5 occasions have finished at least 2nd every time. 3 of them in first there, 2019-20, so it's the best start since Liverpool actually won the league last. 78-79 won the league, 87-88 won the league. So those are good omens for Liverpool. And if we look, we've been through the defensive numbers, and let's just compare those detailed defensive numbers to other seasons as well. So in terms of shots faced and expected goals against. Again, we've put in green the best ones, so this is over the last 4 seasons. Goals conceded per game is well down. Look at last season and the season before, above 1, and we're talking below 0.3 this season. Lower XG against per game as well, so expected to concede fewer goals. Shots faced is at the lowest since 21-22 when Liverpool chased for a quadruple, and big chances faced per game is lowest since 21-22 as well, so significantly better than last season, which is the main thing to look out for.
Yeah, what we need to point out is the boss has mentioned more than once now, hasn't he? Liverpool maybe haven't been faced with the toughest of fixtures so far. Do the stats that you've found for us bear that out, Mike?
Yeah, I think it has to be. There's a reason Slot keeps mentioning it. I think he's right to do that. And if you look here, what I've done is, if you look at everyone's 7 fixtures so far and look at where their opponents are in the table, this is the average position of those opponents. Liverpool is only just over 15th in 7 games, so the highest is at the minute Nottingham Forest in 10th, and the rest are all bottom half. They've actually played 3 of the bottom 4. Now again, we've looked at Arsenal and Man City here. Neil mentioned they're the names we're going to look at. Man City have had a much tougher start. Their average position is more like 9th of their opponents. Liverpool's opponents so far are averaging less than a point per game, so generally Liverpool have faced teams who haven't had the best of starts, so Chelsea and Arsenal are the next 2, so tougher games to come.
Yeah, let's get Mel's take on that, because as Mike says, the games do get tougher after the break, and obviously we've got to navigate them without Alisson as well, which is a huge blow. No way of dressing that up.
Yeah, this is the second international break, isn't it? Before another one. So there's 3 actually before December. I just hope we respond better at the start to what we did last time. We know we got beat by Forest. That was after that international break. So I'm hoping that Chelsea game, which is our first game, I think we have 1 extra day recovery because the players are all around the world. We can start better and get the momentum going again. Feels as though the momentum's been disrupted a little bit by this international break. But let's get going again. There's some great games to look forward to.
Yep.
Some really good games to look forward to.
Yeah, Ali playing a massive part in the defensive success so far. But it's been Konate, I think, Mike, who's caught your eye when you've been looking at the numbers. Talk us through what he's done so far this season.
Yeah, I think he deserves a mention, and the numbers will sort of bear that out. And normally when I look at these sort of numbers, I've done this show a few times, and when we look at Virgil van Dijk, we look at his dual success rate, and he's always at the top. Well, this season he's not at the top because Ibrahim Konate is at the top, 75%. So 3 and 4 of his duels he's actually winning, and you can see there Van Dijk is in 4th place in the table at the minute. For what it's worth, I think Van Dijk's been absolutely brilliant this season, by the way. So don't take this me saying Konate is better, but Konate's numbers here are absolutely phenomenal. And if we then take it from dual success and just narrow down to aerial duels, it's even better for Ibu here, 86%. Aerial dual success rate, so he's only lost 4 out of 29. And again, Van Dijk is in 4th place. These are all very high numbers. Everyone in this table to be averaging above 70% is pretty impressive. So Konate's had a phenomenal start, and to have both your centre backs there in the top 4 is pretty good going, and that's helped Liverpool have the defensive record we've just mentioned.
Yeah, he was obviously left out of the boss's first lineup against Ipswich, that first game of the season. Comes on at half-time and has now really made that spot alongside the skipper, his own Mel's. You picked out some of his best bits so far. Yeah,
here we go. Some video clips to show you. We've seen a lot of graphics there, haven't we? Here we go. Some of the action from Konate this season. I think where you have to give him credit, and absolutely didn't start the season. Every player wants to start the season, so he's had to deal with that setback. His reaction, his attitude has been absolutely superb. This is what he does. Big headers in key areas when it's needed. That was a big header, dominating his penalty area when it comes in. He went away with France for the Euros, and it was a really disappointing campaign for him. Didn't achieve what they hoped. He didn't get the game time. He's come back, he's not started the season, but as soon as he's been in the team from that second half onwards at Ipswich, he's been absolutely superb. Mike mentioned it there with the stats. Yes, he's been absolutely very high on the list for a lot of those stats, but so's Van Dijk. I think if you're playing alongside one of the best centre-halves in world football, I think you're going to get more out of yourself, and I think that is where Konate is really flourishing this season. So he's taking confidence from the fact that him and Virgil van Dijk, they have a good understanding. I think he's been asked to do this a lot as well, you know, covering that right full-back area, which I think he's really comfortable at doing. But I love these sort of situations. Get there ahead of the centre-forward. That could have been a goal, but because he gets there first, and the desire to protect his goalkeeper, to make sure he gets a clean sheet. We talk about Alisson making saves, but Konate and Van Dijk have been absolutely key to why Liverpool have had so many clean sheets so far this season. And yes, we conceded in this game. We could have conceded a second. That could have been 2-2, but for a really big block from Konate. Again, late on in the game, added on time. 90 minutes has gone, and he's still flying in, making challenges like that. Great to see him with a big smile on. And keeping him fit is going to be massive this season for us.
He's enjoying his football, I think, at the moment, isn't he, Ibu Konate? Mike has been comparing his numbers over the past 4 seasons, and there is a clear upturn here in his numbers this year. We're going to break this down for you a bit. There's a lot of data here. Mike, firstly, tell us what you've noticed about his involvement this season compared to previous ones.
Yeah, so there's a lot of numbers in this table. We're just going to look at the top 4 here to start with, so touches and passes, and how, if you notice, as the seasons have progressed, he's sort of been involved more in games, been asked to be on on the ball more, play more passes. He got his first assist in the Premier League this season, as well against Bournemouth for Luis Diaz. And you can see last season he was very high for touches and passes per 90, but this season he's also very high, and his passing accuracy is the highest it's ever been. So in terms of his involvement, yeah, he's been asked to do a lot more on the ball.
Yeah, and in terms of purely defensively now, clearances, duels, success, aerial duels as well, all big increases there.
Yeah, this is why we've put the greens on the table, just to make it easier to digest, because on the far side you've got this season, and look how many greens are this season defensively. His clearances per 90 are his best ever, headed clearances best ever, dual success rate best ever, aerial success rate best ever. So if he can maintain that over the whole season, then those are some pretty impressive numbers, and it's good to see the upturn. He's got more and more used to the Premier League as he's gone along.
OK, thanks both of you. That is it from us for the moment, actually. Remember, though, you can subscribe to watch the full Premier League review show, the season so far.